I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories we've been working on for today's show. 25-year-old Jerry Chu of Herbert made his second appearance in Swift Current Provincial Court on Wednesday. Chu was arrested back in September for the second-degree murder of 79-year-old Henry Jin, also of Herbert. Since 2009, Community Future Southwest and numerous other stakeholders in the region and south of the border have been working cohesively to increase the transportation access along the No. 4 highway. The Newcomer Welcome Center and the Fiipino community of Southwest Saskatchewan recently joined forces to raise funds for the victims of Typhoon Haiyan. The Christmas season officially arrived in Swift Current with the grand opening of the Salvation Army Miracle Room at the Swift Current Mall. Thanks for joining us here today. A Herbert man charged with second-degree murder remains in jail. We have more in today's top story. 25-year-old Jerry Chu of Herbert made his second appearance in Swift Current Provincial Court on Wednesday. Chu was arrested back in September for the second-degree murder of 79-year-old Henry Jin, also of Herbert. On Wednesday, Chu appeared before Judge Matsela without a lawyer and has been advised to seek counsel before his next scheduled appearance on December the 18th. 25-year-old Jerry Chu is the lone suspect in the death of Henry Jin, with the victim's body discovered approximately 10 kilometers southeast of Morse. Initial reports by the Morse RCMP indicated that Mr. Jin died from an assault, with final results still to be unveiled from a provincial coroner's report. Chu will remain in custody until his next court date on December the 18th. Southwest TV News will continue to follow this story in the coming weeks. The benefits of having a 24-hour border near Val Marie remain under discussion. We have more in this report. Saskatchewan's economy is thriving, and according to Stats Canada, the province's exports have increased by over $724 million this year, further building the case for enhanced transportation routes to link with partners in the U.S. Since 2009, Community Future Southwest and numerous other stakeholders in the region and south of the border have been working cohesively to increase the transportation access along the No. 4 highway through the Ports to Plains Trade Corridor. However, the project has met a few hurdles along the way. The border near Val Marie needs to be upgraded to offer 24-hour service, and substandard road conditions exist, with an 80-kilometer stretch of the No. 4 highway near Kettle, which is not primary weight to support transport trucks. And as John Parker and the crew of Community Future Southwest continue to keep the project in the spotlight, a letter of support has now been received from the Ports to Plains Alliance Group, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting economic security throughout North America's energy and agricultural heartland.
I think that the signal is our U.S. partners recognize that that is an important corridor, and that will improve and help improve import-export trade between the two of us. So I think that those kind of support situations are a signal to each and every one of us the importance of trade corridors and improving our economic stability and our economic growth and expansion in the province.
Now, with this latest paperwork in hand and continued support from various other community stakeholders realizing the benefits of the Ports to Plains corridor, Parker states the outcome is still in the hands of the politicians.
I think we just have to keep moving forward and ensuring that a number of our ministers and our Premier and our MP all receive that copies of that report. They're aware of it, and I think it's the passing on of the information. I think what needs to happen now is that the government has to step forward and say, recognize this as a strategic priority, and that we will sit down at the table and come up with a strategic plan to improve the highway and push for a 24-hour commercial port over the next period of time. Set out a time frame and start to move forward.
Southwest TV News will continue to follow this story as it unfolds. W.W. Smith Insurance has reached a milestone as it celebrates its centennial. Having served Southwest Saskatchewan for the past 100 years, W.W. Smith Insurance is your motor license issuer, while specializing in all of your personal and commercial needs, including home, auto, agro, business, and life insurance. W.W. Smith Insurance, independently owned and operated since 1913. The Filipino community of Southwest Saskatchewan is doing its part to help the victims of Typhoon Haiyan through a special fundraising initiative. Images such as these have been in abundance since Typhoon Haiyan struck the Philippines. Now, as relief efforts continue by organizations such as the Red Cross, communities are also raising awareness and support. The Newcomer Welcome Center and the Filipino community of Southwest Saskatchewan recently joined forces to raise funds for the victims of Typhoon Haiyan. The one-day initiative took place at the Swift Current office, complete with Filipino cuisine to greet the many donors dropping by for the fundraiser.
Our facility has quite a few workers from the Philippines, and so we felt it was important that we honor them, and of course any disaster is worthwhile cause. So this one in particular we felt was important to us because of the workers that we have at Riverview.
Ramil Delute and Brigitte Vasquez are two of hundreds of Filipino community members in Swift Current who have been keeping a close watch on the news reports of the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, a situation which has hit them both close to home.
It's very sad. My parents, their house already was out. But yeah, I'm very, very sad for that. But I'm lucky that all the international community is helping.
Our town is wiped out. We're still happy because they're all alive and all my friends. There's some casualty, but not that bad. So I'm concerned with my all the town, with my friends in high school or even my neighborhood, because they're all wood houses. Ours is cemented. So, but I'm concerned. For example, what are going to happen on Christmas time or New Year's.
And as the dollars continue to flow in through the Newcomer Welcome Center, the Southwest Filipino Association has a specific goal in mind to help family and friends back home in the Philippines.
Our long-term plan is to help them to rebuild not only these immediate needs right now, but for them to restructure their lives. Like, we're planning to have to help them to build their classrooms for the students, some sort like that.
According to stats from the Newcomer Welcome Center, over 1,000 Filipino immigrants now call Southwest Saskatchewan home. And as a production time, over $21,000 had been raised through the Newcomer Welcome Center's fundraising campaign. Anyone wishing to make a donation towards the Typhoon Haiyan relief efforts can do so through the Red Cross. Well, Christmas is the season for giving, and the Swift Current Salvation Army is counting on your support to gain this season. The Christmas season officially arrived in Swift Current with the grand opening of the Salvation Army Miracle Room at the Swift Current Mall. Salvation Army officials, alongside Mayor Jared Schaefer, took part in the ribbon-cutting ceremony to launch the annual fundraising campaign for those in need in the community, a project which Mayor Schaefer is pleased to support on an annual basis.
Yeah, you know what, absolutely. There's, in my job I get to cut a lot of ribbons for new business and things like that, but I think what makes this one exciting is we always seem to be kicking off the Christmas season when we open the Miracle Room here in Swift Current, and it's fun to be a part of that. I love the holiday season, and you know what, there's nothing that embodies the spirit of Christmas more than those that are fortunate in our community reaching out and helping out to those that need a little help this time of year.
This year's fundraising goal is set at $175,000. An increase of $5,000 from the previous season, and a target which Captain Michael Ramsey once again feels is achievable, with proceeds going towards the Christmas hampers and to fill the shelves at the food bank, a need which continues to grow year over year.
It's unfortunate that the need has been growing quite a bit, but there's been an upside in that a repeat need has gone down. So it means that even though more people are hitting that point of crisis, we've actually been able to address the need and help people through it. So even though the need is rising in our community, there's the blessing that goes along with that, in that we've been able to help out most people through it, and that it's only been a one-time need, and then they've been able to continue on and even contribute back and help out those who find themselves in a difficult situation.
Now through Christmas, cash donations, new toys, and donations of non-perishable food items are welcome at the Miracle Room and at the Salvation Army headquarters. Volunteers are also needed to work the kettles located around the city, and also to help out with the annual Christmas Day dinner.
That's one way that if anybody can volunteer to help out, that it really goes a long way. Standing, smiling to people, greeting people, and ringing those bells where you can ring those bells, it really does a lot to give hope to people in need in our community this time of year.
If you're interested in volunteering this season, you can do so by contacting the Salvation Army directly. The Swift Current Salvation Army has assisted those in need in our community for the past 100 years. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.